that the only people that really make the money out of a portfolio that's managed that closely is the people that are managing it. But I think we may still pay off the mortgage. Ramsey, Gordon Ramsay, Dave Ramsey. Hi, we're Retirement Dreams to Reality. I'm Keely, this is Bruce. And today we're going to talk about our 5 financial mistakes, our big financial mistakes over the years. So Bruce, do you want to start with our first one?
Okay, so the first one I'm going to look at is the financial advisor. When we received the settlement money, Keely pretty much, I've spoken about this in videos before, she kind of took the reins and she looked into how to use that money effectively. And one of the things that came up was to use a financial advisor. Unfortunately, I took a whole hands-off approach and let her kind of make all the decisions.
I found 3 financial advisors and we interviewed 3, if you remember. And then we made a decision together about which financial advisor to use.
Yeah.
I think the reason it was a mistake is because we bought in 100% to the it's a managed fund. I can't possibly, when the stocks and shares are changing every day, when shares are about to fall, no one else can watch it unless it's a managed portfolio, so they'll be able to react to the market. So we bought into all of that. But we now know that the only people that really make the money out of a portfolio that's managed that closely is the people that are managing it.
Yeah, and I think as well is that we've tried to be kind of more methodical about it, a bit more mature about it, and say, right, well, surely somebody that is involved in money, the industry of money, will know the best way to effectively utilise that money itself. We didn't realise that the whole way of investing was actually far more simpler than we thought, wasn't it?
It was a real unknown for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for us, that financial advisor was the security blanket.
We just didn't realise the extent of what fees meant, and I think that was our biggest. Not necessarily getting a financial advisor was the big mistake. I think for us, the big mistake was not realising the fact that the fees have such an impact on your returns that we didn't understand that.
It was a stepping stone into the stock market that we were not willing to take by ourselves.
What we should have really got was not a financial advisor, but we should have got what's it called?
Financial planner.
A financial planner. So do you want to do number 2?
Number 2, definitely my mistake, really. Waiting to sell the rental. Now, the fact that we bought a rental in the first place is a win for us because we diversified our settlement. We put some in stocks and shares and we bought property. So that was good. But I led with my heart, not my head. We should 100% have sold it 6 months to a year before we did. Luckily, we weren't burnt too much.
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, it's a difficult decision to make, isn't it? Because again, I think from our backgrounds, it was always a kind of dream of ours, wasn't it? I know we said this in a previous video, to own an additional property, wasn't it? To own a property, to rent it out. It kind of felt like we'd made it.
Yeah.
So
whereas it didn't feel like that at all in the 5 years that we had it.
No, we basically got it managed, so we were paying fees.
We got good fees, but yeah.
But you managed to negotiate decent fees.
Yeah.
But also we didn't really put the rent up that much, so we weren't making a huge amount from it. And then unfortunately, when we came to sell it, we did wait a little bit too long.
Know your personality.
Yeah.
Where money's concerned, know your personality.
I mean, we realised straight away that renting's not for us.
No. So what about number 3?
So number 3 was paying off the low interest mortgage. So again, I think it's our backgrounds.
We've talked about this a lot. This has come up in lots of videos.
Yeah.
Not in our big mistakes type thing.
Yeah.
But it's huge.
Yeah. And it's all different with all different people. Like you listen to some people on like whatever financial advisors, influencers or whatever, and they say psychologically, paying off your mortgage is massive, because then it leads to better things. It can lead to better habits. It can be a relief that now you're mortgage free, that no matter what happens, that you can't lose your home. If things go wrong, things go awry, you've got your home, you've got somewhere to live. Whereas in terms of logically, so thinking with your head and not thinking with your heart, you're going to make quite a bit, especially when interest rates were so low when we did pay it off. If we'd have invested that money into the stock market, wow, it could have doubled, tripled by now. So,
But
yeah.
if we'd invested that money with our 2 fee paying, our financial advisor and our managed portfolio,
Yeah.
with how much property went up, I don't know.
No, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Again, and it's got to be like all these things here. These are very personal to us, and you need to decide what's best for you and what you can sleep on. And we knew straight away these are the 5 things that we've made mistakes. But again,
I don't think it's a financially sound reason to pay off a low interest mortgage.
no.
So financially, it probably was a mistake.
But
However,
emotionally, yeah.
I think if were given the money again, we wouldn't. If we were given the money again, started from scratch, we wouldn't pay a financial advisor like we did. We wouldn't leave the rent. We wouldn't get so emotionally invested in the rental.
No.
But I think we may still
Pay off the
mortgage, well, especially at the moment because they're like 5-6%
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
interest rates are a lot higher.
But it's one, even though it wasn't a financially sound reason, I feel like we may always have stuck with that one.
Yeah, so yeah.
But the
definitely.
first 2 we wouldn't, so they were definitely more overarching mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, the next one's a really interesting one. We first went to America for my 40th, so you're talking 15 years ago. And we've been doing flights to America virtually every year since then. And it is only the past 3 years, 2 years, that we've got into air miles and credit card points.
Yeah.
And since you discovered that,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, we are flying to America at least once, possibly twice a year on free points, on free flights, taxes only. Previously, we never even joined the Air Miles clubs. We weren't a member of British Airways, Avios.
We
weren't a member of Virgin.
We didn't even put the
Red.
points. Like when you get a Virgin flight, you automatically get that kind
We didn't
of
do.
points.
We didn't do any
we didn't
of
even
that.
trace that up, did we?
Not one bit of
And
that until about 4 years
And
ago.
that's a travesty, considering how much we love going on holiday.
And how many international Atlantic flights we have made.
Yeah.
We'd have probably got at least one free flight just from the flights alone.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the credit card points and having a little play with credit cards like you've done.
Yeah.
And we haven't paid full price for an Atlantic, for an international flight for about 3 years. So what a mistake.
Yeah.
10, 14, 13, 14 years of wasted points just by being a bit careful. We do link our cruises now to their like members clubs. It's piecemeal, but you get things like a bottle of wine after so long, or a free.
But even though the amount of money we spent on cruises, it's still nowhere near.
Oh, it's hard, but we're at least linking it now.
Yeah.
We are at least linking it.
It is worth the effort.
Yeah.
But it won't make a massive difference. So yeah, that's that one.
And our final big failure.
The last one, I'm guilty of this. I'm still kind of guilty of this. Is not knowing the number. So not knowing your numbers. This is your thing, isn't it? You're massively into knowing your number.
I think knowing how much you spend on things is really important. Just because if you don't know your number, how do you know what you're going to need when you're not earning a wage? So just things like, I know roughly how much we spend on petrol every month. I know roughly how much we spend on shopping every month. I know roughly how much I spend on clothes every month. Too much even now. How much we spend on coffee shops. I'm quite aware of things like that. You don't like being nailed down, do you? Your view is, I think, and you can correct me with this one, your view is, look, I don't spend a lot anyway, so why does it matter what my number is? Are you trying to get me to tell you my number so that I can spend less? Well, I don't want to spend less. I don't spend a lot anyway. So why does it matter?
I think, yeah, because I feel like I can work on the fly. So I'll know if I've had a good month or a bad month. And a lot of the time I tend to have quite a good month where I don't really buy a lot. My outgoings are quite low. So I don't feel personally that I need to keep on top of things, because I don't often go on Amazon and buy things. I don't often go on shopping sites or get things like that. I only kind of tend to buy things. The way I've kind of programmed myself over the years is that I say to myself, do I want it or do I need it? And if I need it, then I'll buy it. But 9 times out of 10, it's something I want. So I'm quite good at kind of just delay gratification and just saying, right, well, if I don't need it, then I don't need to have it.
So this is why I don't understand. That is your view. So why does it matter if you know your number?
I just, there's so much else that I'm focused on, and there's only so much energy I've got.
As we get closer to retirement, I will be saying to you, right, we've spent this month. Do you think we ought to spend less next month? As we get closer to retirement and we're going to have joint finances, I will be saying that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to know our joint numbers.
Yeah.
So, they were our big financial mistakes over the past few years thinking about retirement. What are yours? That's Keely and Bruce. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Keely. So, Bruce, do you want to start with our first one?
You're trying not to move now, aren't you? Just be natural. It doesn't matter if it's jerky or cutting, does it? You're just trying not to move. I mean, you can look at me a bit. I'm messing you up. Just be natural now. You're being all weird.
Ramsey,
yeah.
Gordon Ramsay, Dave Ramsey.
It's doing that thing again, you know.
What thing?
Doing the light thing.